So welcome to another episode of Dating After a Toxic Relationship. So while I'm recording this, you're probably going to hear my landscaper in the back. Today's the first day to get my lawn done after the winter. So it's so funny, I was on Facebook this morning and I saw this article about landscapers and before you start mowing the lawn after such a long time off, to look through to make sure you don't find bunny nests. So I took I copied it or whatever and sent it to my landscaper, and he responded and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll take a look before I start working or whatever." And then I saw a couple guys in the backyard looking through to see if there were any bunny nests, and I thought it was so funny because he actually read what I sent him. So I think going forward, I'm probably gonna send him all the shit that I write since nobody else freaking reads my shit. So I thought that was super interesting that he actually read it and was like, "Yeah, I'll take a look." So going forward, I think he's gonna be the one that I send my articles and my blogs to. Anyway, so on today's episode of Dating After a Toxic Relationship, I wanted to talk about something that I thought was kind of interesting. I met up with one of my friends last week. He is single, and we ended up talking about dating and his dating and my dating and what that's been like and everything else. And he said to me, he's like, I'm getting older. I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to have a family. I just want to meet someone that I can build with and have a life with. So I said to him, I'm like, "Oh, you know what?" I'm like, "I think I have someone for you. I think I have a good match, someone that would be a really good for you." And I started telling him about her because they do have a lot of qualities that I think they would probably be pretty good together. But anyway, so I was telling him about her and how she likes to travel and do different things, and he's like, "What's the catch?" And I was like, "Catch? There's no catch. What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, let's see a picture of her." So I showed him a picture of her because she's super attractive and stuff like that, and he looks at me and he's like, "She has the face of a wife." Oh my God, isn't that what you just said you wanted? Isn't that literally what you just said you wanted? You wanted someone to settle down with, someone to build with, someone to do, all this with and have a family with. Isn't that exactly what you want? So it got me to thinking about dating and what's holding us back from dating and meeting somebody that would be a really good choice for you. What are the things that people are doing out there that are preventing them from moving forward with somebody? So it's sort of this is what I hear a lot from both men and women. So everybody is picky AF out there, is he's great, he's tall, he's successful, he has his stuff together, he, wants this and he wants that. But you know what? I can't look at green eyes my entire life. Who do you think I am, a farmer? You think I'm just gonna open my eyes every day and look at someone who's looking back at me with green eyes? Come on now, people. This is literally the stuff that I hear from others, where men are just "Oh yeah, she's pretty, she's this, she's that, but if she worked out a little bit more, I could see us going somewhere." What? So the thing about it is people are missing exactly what it is they're supposed to be looking for in a life partner. Somebody that you can go through life with. When you get married or when you live with somebody or you want something long term with someone, it's someone that you can grow with, build with, be happy with. But also the thing that so many people forget about getting matched up with somebody is who they can suffer well with. Somebody that can be there for them in their darkest times. If you sit back and you think about who do you want with you when you get the dreaded phone call at 2 a.m.? Who do you want next to you when you hear the worst news about your parents? Who do you want with you? Who can catch you when you fall and hold you steady until you're able to walk again? Who do you want that person to be? And if you're thinking about people in the aspect of not somebody with green eyes, that's for damn sure. Well, what the hell is that? Or, I would want this person to be that person for me, but she just doesn't squat enough. If you don't squat enough, how can you be there for me in my darkest times? So we're missing the point of dating and who we're supposed to be with. Of course, you're supposed to have physical attraction. Obviously, you have to have that to a degree, obviously. But at the same time, that's not the only thing. So if you meet someone that you feel is attractive but not attractive enough, you are the problem. You are the problem who is not going to pick someone because of their eye color or because of their height or because of their job or because of what they drive or don't drive. You are the problem. You need to get healthy with yourself and fix what's broken in you. And it's the reason why you're not finding anyone is because you are in your own damn way. Like, trying to find someone because of how they look is the most ridiculous thing ever. So the thing that I like to think about is, if you are looking for someone that looks a certain way and you find them, congratulations, you found someone that you think looks good. But what can they offer you on the inside? Can they be there for you? Can they support you? Can they, are they going to be a good parent? Are they going to be a good provider of, of the things that you need? Are they going to be able to grow with you? Are they going to be able to support you in all aspects of life? So you meet someone, let's take, for example, the person that I was with, the toxic ex. When I first met him, he was really good looking. Not anymore. But when I first met him, he was really good looking. But I was like, okay, so here you go. Have this guy that looks really good. And people look at him and women like him and he gets attention because he has a good personality. He's charming, but behind closed doors, he's a psychopath. Okay, so they get a really good looking person. So I guess when a good looking person is not there for you, who's cheating on you, who's being mean to you, you can literally say, wow, but look how good they look while they do all this. No, that's literally not what you want. So what I find is, just because someone looks good doesn't mean they're good for you. So if you think about this, you go to your favorite restaurant and they give you the pie that you always get for dessert and it looks so delicious. We all know how good pie can look, right? Like, pie is like so good. So you're sitting there, you're ordering your pie comes, and you get to like take a bite out of it, and when you do, what happens? Maggots come out. But the pie looks so good. Yeah, dude, but it's maggot pie. Go ahead, take a bite. Live with maggot pie the rest of your life. So the point I'm trying to say is, like, just because someone looks good doesn't mean that they're good for you. So if you're going after somebody who you want in your life because of how they look, you're going to be eating maggot pie forever. And that's not to say that good-looking people are not good humans, because they are. They really are. But the thing about it is, like, if you're looking for someone that's good-looking and all the other things like that, like, if the way someone looks is the number one on your list, that's just not going to work out really well, because you may end up settling for someone that's not good for you because you are attracted to them, because you think that they look good. Because if you're with an attractive guy and other women want him, it makes you want them more for whatever reason. So it's like, oh, well, no, I don't want you to have this maggot pie. I want this maggot pie. No, dude, give that maggot pie away, because that maggot pie is not delicious. It's actually gross. So it's a hard sort of thing, because I hear all these crazy things about, I hardly ever hear someone say to me, like, yeah, I don't know that I can be with this person because last week when I was crying, he hung up on me and didn't really care. I don't ever hear that. What I hear is, I can't be with this person because he's 5'11". He's not 6'1". That guy can still get the shit off the shelf, Like, it doesn't really matter, like, how tall someone is. It doesn't matter the height or their job or even their eye color. So it's a hard thing to get past, like, when you're dating. So, and you're not really ready to be serious with someone if these are the things that are on your list, like how someone looks, or whether they have the face of a wife or not, which is kind of crazy, because isn't that like what you want? Like, you want like somebody like that, like, what kind of a face does somebody else have? So it's some of it's kind of confusing to me, because when I first started dating, I had the same sort of list where it was like, I want him to be successful, I want him to be this, I want him to be that, and then, that old saying where it's like, that old Mick Jagger saying where it's like, you don't always get what you want, but you get what you need. So you may get somebody, like, you may want someone to be emotionally available. You may want somebody who's going to, like, oh, how are you? Are you okay? That sort of thing. And you may not get that, but you may find that you find the love of your life wrapped in a package of somebody who's not emotionally available, who's not going to provide you with certain things that you want. Because you provide those things doesn't mean that they're going to provide them back. So you have to look at the whole person, not just what they're missing. You have to look at everything that they bring to the table, everything that they offer. So, you might want somebody who does those things, but at the same time, you still want the person because they are a really good fit for you, even though they don't have like all the stuff that you exactly want out of somebody. So if you think of it this way, if you really want a person that's emotionally available, somebody who's going to be sad with you and happy with you and all these different things with you, and then you find someone that's not like that, what do? Do you walk away from that person and say, no, like, even though you're great for me in all these other ways, you are not great for me in these 3 ways, so I've got to like throw the whole man out and start over again? No, you don't do that. You adjust. You learn how to be with somebody who's not going to provide you certain things. Like, I'll give an example about this. So, person I'm dating is super busy, very busy. He has school, he has work, he has all these things. And he's the kind of guy where when he's focused on something, he's focused on something, where he's not going to do it half-ass, he's going to do it whole-ass. So, unfortunately, recently I found out my sister's dog passed away, which was really, really hard for me. Really, obviously hard for my sister. This little guy has been in my life for almost 16 years. He was part of the family. 16 years is a very long time. So, the morning I found out he passed away, the person I'm seeing was busy in a very important meeting. In that moment, I was really upset. Did I want to talk to him and have like comfort from him? Of course, I'm a human. But I knew 2 things. 1, that he was super busy. And 2, he doesn't know my sister's dog. He never met my sister's dog. He's not going to give me the sort of comfort that I'm going to want in that moment. So I found out that the little guy passed away, and I cried, so sad, for a little bit in my room because it was so sad. And then I called one of my friends and I said, this is what happened. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And gave me, all the comfort I needed in that moment. So I felt like I had my need for comfort was met in that moment. I knew that I couldn't call him, even though he's the first one I wanted to call, because he was busy and he would not be able to give me exactly what I needed in that moment. So I knew I needed to call someone else. Had he not been in that meeting, would I have called him? No, because I know he would not have been able to. And it's not because he doesn't care about me. And it's not because he doesn't care about my sister losing her dog. It's because he's not able to provide that for me. And I know this. So I went to someone, got that need met. And then later on that day, when I talked to him, I told him about the dog because I still wanted to tell him what was going on in my life. And he's like, wow, I'm really sorry to hear that. And then we changed the subject. So for me, I didn't force him into a situation that he wasn't going to be able to provide for me what I needed. I knew he wouldn't be able to because he's not emotional in that sense. So I got it where I needed it. And then I did end up telling him about it. He said he was sorry about it, and we moved on. So I was able to be okay with what was going on without relying on him. So the problem that we have in relationships is that we want our guys or our women or whatever to be our everything, to provide everything for us when we need it in that exact moment. I know this because I've made this mistake in relationships before. So once you start to know someone, understand who they are, understand what they are capable of and what they're not capable of, then you can adjust. So in the situation of the dog, I knew a couple things. He was busy and he wasn't going to be able to give me exactly what I needed in that moment. So I did get it from someone else. And that's an okay thing to do because it's obviously different if you want, your needs are sexual and you get it from someone else. Clearly don't do that. That's obviously not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is you can have a person in your life and have a happy, healthy relationship and not hold them hostage to your beliefs and not hold them to things that they are not capable of doing. So for him, I know there are certain things that he likes and certain things that he doesn't like. And I'm not going to force anything that I want onto him because it's not fair to him and it's also not fair to me. Because if I had that expectation of, I'm going to interrupt his meeting, I'm going to get him on the phone and start crying about the dog, he's going to be pissed. He's not going to be like, oh my God, thank you for interrupting my super important meeting to tell me this. He's going to be super pissed. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to be mad at him for failing to meet that expectation I had. And then he's going to be mad at me for interrupting his meeting with something that I pretty much knew he wouldn't be able to comfort me on for a few different reasons. So it's getting to know somebody, what they can offer and what they can't offer. And if you like to have coffee every Sunday morning and the person you're with is like, I don't do Sunday mornings, I do X, Y, and Z. So if you hear that and you say to this person, well, you know what, I do this and I want you to come with me now, blah, blah, blah. And then the next thing you know, you're going to get into an argument about it because you're expecting this person to do the things that you want to do. So if you say to this person, hey, I do coffee every Sunday morning, and then he or she says to you, hey, I'm not a Sunday morning person, but maybe I'll meet you and that might be fun. That's great. But if they say, you know what, Sunday mornings I kind of do my own thing and that's not really what I'm going to go for. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to, either go by myself or I'm going to have my friend meet me and I'm going to still do the things that I need to do. And then it's squashed. You're still getting your needs met. You told this person what you were doing, what you wanted to do, and that you were interested in them doing it with you. And they were like, you know what? No, thank you. I can't. Those are boundaries. Those are things that you don't expect somebody to change who they are just to make you happy. You have to know who they are and understand who they are and then communicate accordingly to the situation that you find yourself in. So if you talk to them and you say, this is what I would like you to do, and they're like, you know what, no thanks, or maybe I can do this, just not right now, then the communication is there. But once you understand who they are. Now, if you didn't understand who this person was and you said, I do this every Sunday morning, and he or she was like, that's not my bag, and then you argue with them, well, what the heck, what am I supposed to do now? Why are you not going to do this with me? You don't care about me. You don't know what I need. You don't want to spend time with me. You don't want this. You don't want that. So you have all these expectations that you put on this person that you really shouldn't. So that's where it comes in to play, where you have to be a secure person on your own. So when the person that you're with says, you know what, I can't do this, then you're like, okay, I understand, thanks, and I'm going to go ahead and do these things anyway. So you got to understand the kind of person that you're with, or who it is that you're with. And understanding someone takes a lot of time, which is why people go from 0 to 100 into these relationships so quick. And then over time, either you don't understand who you're with and you can't communicate with them properly, or you do start to understand who they are and get to know them a little bit better. And then you're like, oh yeah, no, this really isn't a person that I want to be with. And now you're in this relationship and you got to end this relationship, and it's kind of a mess. So taking things slow and getting to know somebody over a period of time is the best way, in my opinion, before you jump into a relationship to do it. Because you need to understand who these people are that you're with so you can communicate with them, so you can tell them, this is how I'm feeling, this is how I'm not feeling, these are the things that I need. Because you need to be able to say, these are the things I need, very clearly, very directly, so the other person understands. So you can't just assume that somebody's going to know what you want or what you need. For example, Christmas. He said to me, basically, I'm not a mind reader. What do you want for Christmas? And I'll get it for you. Is it romantic? No. But is it a situation where you'll be able to get your needs met? Yeah. Where it's like if he says, and I tested him on this. I 100% did. And, he wasn't lying about how he is. So that's the thing. It's like, tell me what you want and I'll get it. So I told him what I wanted and he got it. So I got what I wanted. He felt like he got me what he wanted to get me because it's what I wanted, and that was it. Over and done. For my birthday, he said to me, what do you want for your birthday? And I was like, it was my first birthday with him and I wasn't sure of what to say because I'm not really good at asking for stuff like that. I'm definitely more of the person where it's like, if I want a new shirt, I just go and get a new shirt. I don't ask other people to do things like that for me unless it's a kitchen table. So I didn't know what to say. And then there was a part of me that was still hanging on to that romantic aspect where I'm like, oh, I don't know, thinking he's going to be like, oh, she doesn't know, I'm going to be romantic and pay attention to her needs and I'm going to go and get her something amazing. Yeah, no, it didn't happen because he's not that kind of person. He's very much a direct, tell me what you want and I'll get it. And if that doesn't work for you in a relationship, and when someone shows you who they are and it doesn't work for you, then you need to just leave. You can't convince somebody to be a different person or, you know, be like whatever. It's like I'm realizing more and more with this person, you can't just drop hints. You have to come out and say it directly. And some people are like that. Other people like me, he said he wanted something one time when we first started dating, and that's like what I got him for his birthday. Because I was like, oh, that's like what he wanted. He said he wanted it and it would be great and this and that. I'm more of a clue picker upper. Like if he says he wants this or he wants that or he likes this or he likes that, I'm going to remember these things and I'm going to pop up with it one day. But that's me. And that's how I am. So he knows that's how I am. So he doesn't have to directly say to me like, these are the things I want, these things I need, because I already know, because I pay attention to the things that he says. And he doesn't do the same thing with me because that's not his personality. And that does not make him a bad person. That just makes him who he is. So it's one of those things where you have to understand who someone is. You have to understand it, where if they're not romantic type of people and that's what you're looking for, you may not have a good time. You can either understand that they're not like that and kind of come to terms with it and be okay, well, he's not romantic, but he's super intelligent, he's driven, he's, you know, he's funny, he's da-da-da-da-da, he has his shit together, he's all these great things. And when I'm sad, he comforts me. When I'm happy, he laughs with me. When, you know, I succeed, he's happy. When I fail, he hugs me. So it's like you got to kind of like figure out like what your priorities are and what you really want in a long-term partner. Obviously, if you're just dating and you have no time to really be in a relationship or whatever, then that's it is what it is. But if you're looking for someone to be long-term with, somebody who you want to build with and grow with and have a life with, then you have to understand who they are. And you have to help them understand who you are. So if you are the type of person that is romantic, let them know that. And they can either do something with it or not. But if you hang on to green eyes versus brown eyes, if you hang on to, you know, doesn't squat enough or doesn't, you know, dress a certain way or this and that and the other thing, then you're going to have a bad time because you're looking at things like a superficial way. But if you really want to be with somebody long-term and grow with somebody long-term, take the time to get to know them, take the time to understand them, be a little bit open-minded, and just have fun with it. Really get to know someone, really understand like their childhood, which sounds, I hate even saying it, but try to understand that a little bit more. Try to find out a little bit more about that. Try to find out their past trauma with relationships, things they've been through, things they've suffered through, things that hurt them, and pay attention to that. And, you know, really get to know like who someone is before you jump in off the deep end. And because you may find out that you jumped in a little bit too soon. But anyway, that's my advice for today. So don't be so damn superficial. Get out of your own freaking way. Get to know someone, really understand someone, and learn how to communicate with them. And that way, you'll have a much better, healthier, happier relationship. So if you need help with your relationships, any kind of one-on-one or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to me. I am a certified dating coach, and I love doing it. I'm specializing right now and really focusing on love attachments. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. So if you need help with any of that stuff, just check out my website, Kelly Smith Dating Coach, for more information.